RBRK is up 2,200%, my people. This isn't a stock. This is a launch vehicle to tax brackets we can't even spell. A whole new financial religion.
I tried shorting RBRK on the first halt, and my broker basically sent me a virtual wellness check mid-candle, like, "Sir, are you okay mentally and financially?"
2,200%. Cool, so RBRK just speedran every bubble I survived since dial-up, and Jet still thought, yeah, I should fade that, with his rent money and a dream.
Statistically, a move like RBRK happens, what, once a decade? And of course it's on a Monday, the exact day I swore I'd trade less, journal more, and touch some grass.
I told you the market was on crusade mode today. Average volatility, 888%. That's not a metric. That's angel numbers. Blessing my RBRK calls from last week, my people. Baptized in premium.
Relax, profit. RBRK gapped on some wild AI security earnings beat, plus every momentum fund panic buying. It's an opening drive scalp with nuclear risk, not your new religion. Yet.
Opening drive scalp for who, Grizz? My heart rate hit 200 on the first reclaim, and I only traded a 10th size, finger hovering over cancel like a maniac defusing a bomb.
Intraday RBRK was textbook. Gap, squeeze, then that first clean VWAP test. If you didn't already have a plan before the open, you basically volunteered as exit liquidity with a name tag on and a tip jar.
Exactly. Orin accidentally spit in game today. Tip 1, my people. You don't FOMO into a 2,200% candle unless you also FOMO your will to your relatives and your passwords to your lawyer in advance.
Tip 2. If the spread on RBRK is wider than your emotional stability, you size tiny, or you sit out. Heroes die first on those candles. Legends wait for the pullback and still use hard stops.
Meanwhile, IOT wakes up like, wait, I can moon too, 1100%. Same day. And my brain just all tabbed into pure chaos mode. Task manager said no RAM left for risk management.
IOT is literally the side quest that became the main storyline. Cloud numbers blew out. Guidance raised. Reddit slapped the rocket emoji and boom! Liquidity black hole of destiny, sucking in every late chaser.
Yeah, the volume on IOT was insane. Funds chasing because it finally screens as profitable. Intraday, that reclaim of pre-market high was the cleanest continuation trigger of the day if you weren't doom-scrolling RBRK halts for entertainment.
Translation. If you waited for confirmation instead of doom scrolling, you actually got paid. Revolutionary concept, Jet. Waiting for a setup instead of a jump scare and a margin call combo.
I was busy checking sats because communication names were suddenly teleporting. 800%? That's not a move. That's a physics glitch in my PNL. Patch this, devs.
Sats is literally satellites, and somehow became the meme of the day. Some government contract rumor, space Twitter went feral. Then, day traders turned it into orbital hop-scotch, with halts as the tiles and accounts as the casualties.
Sats intraday was pure halt city, though. Great for tiny scalps off levels, terrible for anyone who doesn't respect risk. You don't marry a name that pauses every 5 minutes just to see if you still care when it reopens 10 points lower.
Overall sentiment's bullish, and everyone's acting like volatility is free money. Reminder, AVG vol at 888% means the market can also rip your face off faster, blessing and curse in the same candle, depending which side you picked.
Speaking of faces, ROKU up almost 600%? I thought my chart bugged. Then I realized streamers plus ad rebound plus options hedging equals my rent money evaporating on the short side in HD.
ROKU was that opening range breakout dream. Gap, consolidate, rip. If you bought the first 1 minute high break and actually held, instead of panic scalping like Jet, you printed and framed the chart as generational art.
Bold of you to talk about holding, Toro, Mr. I sell the bottom of every runner. Remember when you dumped MRNA before the real squeeze and called it risk management and a spiritual test?
Haha, mRNA today is different, okay? 867% because they smashed trial data and shorts panicked. Also, yes, I sold early again, my people. Do not study my exits, only my entries.
mRNA was actually one of the few that respected technicals. Strong gap, shallow pullback, then trended all session. Perfect for adding on higher lows instead of chasing parabolic extensions into exhaustion wicks and instant regret.
Meanwhile, I tried to scalp BIDU's 585% rip, misclicked a sell and accidentally doubled my size. I basically speed ran an anxiety attack and a TED talk on hotkeys in the same minute.
That's because you treat trading like an e-sport. BIDU ripped on China stimulus headlines plus short covering. It was an exhaustion-fade candidate, not your button-mashing simulator on max difficulty with real money.
Low keto, WBD sneaking in with 628%. Like, hey guys, remember media? Streaming numbers surprised. Debt fears cooled. And suddenly, it's a breakout instead of a bankruptcy meme. Rising from the ashes.
WBD had such a clean VWAP reclaim midday, and nobody cared because they were hypnotized by RBRK halts. That's the trade. Take the second-tier mover while the crowd chases fireworks and circuit breakers like moths.
Second-tier mover, third-tier trader. Hi, it's me. Bought SNDK late on that 7-11% tech squeeze and sold the exact low tick like it was my side hustle in precision self-sabotage.
SNDK ripped on that chip storage upgrade cycle note plus sympathy to the tech ramp. You don't chase the fifth green candle, Jet. You wait for the first ugly pullback that doesn't break trend and let everyone else donate their accounts to the cause.
Speaking of sympathy, ALAB popping 572% on AI infrastructure hype, while RBRK steals the show. This is literally the cult spin-off series, my people. Same gospel, smaller float.
ALAB actually held its gains better. Volume steady, trend clean. When the main meme like RBRK gets too extended, rotating into the healthier cousin can be slightly less suicidal and way more repeatable.
Less suicidal is my entire strategy now. Even Love only moved 57% today, and I still almost rage traded it because airlines give me flashbacks to every blown stop loss since 2020.
Love bounced on travel demand upgrades and fuel cost relief, but that 57% in this market is basically a value play. Imagine calling a 57% day boring and still whining you missed it from the sidelines.
All right, lightning round, my people. Bold predictions time. RBRK becomes a lifestyle brand. We'll have RBRK Yoga, RBRK Tax Advice, and RBRK Emotional Support Groups by Friday. Sponsored by Regret.
IOT next. They announced latency-free Wi-Fi for traders. My heart rate drops 20 points and the stock gaps another 500%. Just of my cardiologist's note and a screenshot of my P&L.
SAT's prediction. It halts so many times tomorrow. The exchange just lists it as a documentary series. Episode 1, How Not to Chase Parabolas with Your Entire Account, and a prayer.
mRNA, We wake up to 12 more press releases. It gaps another 300%, and every value fund quietly becomes a momentum tourist, pretending this was the plan from the investment committee all along.
SNDK and ALAB form the Church of AI Chips. RBRK is the high priest. And if you short the opening sermon, market makers read your stops like scripture and pass the collection plate with your balance in it.
WBD and ROKU unite into a single streamer titan that only broadcasts my losing trades. As a warning documentary called Do Not Try This at Home, Live P&L Edition, binge-watched by risk managers.
Final call. LUV flies to new highs. Average volatility stays insane. And half of you forget risk management again. Just remember, next time you chase a 2,000% gap, that's not trading. That's performance art, with margin calls and tears.